Alito, we're so happy to present this video by Nura Sunlight,
we Ile,
and myself, Victor Burning Fire, Ile OHD. As you can see, we're using our animated characters to help transition to a more positive approach in our future presentations of cultural, Aboriginal, and Indigenous self-knowledge.
Yes, Lito. Our future videos will be focused on cultural knowledge, especially for our young.
Hi, I am Basil, Little Ninko, meaning king.
Hey, I'm Tamina Bina. What's up?
I'm Tahira.
That need a guiding light, since the young are the heirs of what mature grown-ups leave going forward. Our videos will not focus so much about current colonial turmoils, chaos, and destruction. Instead, the complete opposite, in preparation for the incoming golden age.
Remember, Nura Sunlight, we will continue on making our presentations geared toward liberated and Aboriginal Indigenous minds, although the videos are for anyone who wants to hear. With that said, our videos will never include the colonial religious affiliations or bias of the Iron Age. So Nura Sunlight, what did our ancestors express in the universal key?
Okay, I'll read it. Quote, "In the last analysis, there are but these two classes. All men will have to take their place on one side or the other. They will have to go forward or go back. There is no standing still in a world where all is motion. It is this attempt to stand still that gives sanction and force to arbitrary and unequal codes of law." End quote.
Remember, knowledge is the universal key. So Nura Sunlight, enough about us. Are you ready to help bring in the new positive age?
Oh yes, this is going to be really exciting and adventuresome. Yes, I'm ready. Damn, where are you going?
There's no time to waste. I'm going to get started. Oh, my bad. I forgot.
Yakoki,
And
thank you.
This call is for descendant Aboriginal Indigenous victims of colonization of the Americas, and for all others colonized by Europeans across beloved Earth Mother.
Halito, or greetings in your indigenous tongue. It's obvious on the world stage that settler European colonizers and related Europeans that call themselves Americans are still warring against Aboriginal Indigenous people worldwide, trying to hold on to all of their ill-gotten gains. Although they acknowledge being intrusive colonizers, it's extremely difficult for them to accept that they are not privileged in the scope of creation or nature, and that they must give back what was stolen, even though they have grown to be accustomed to having the lands, resources, and indigenous people of the lands which were all wrongfully obtained. Therefore, never, ever, belong to them. Which is why their leaders are still killing, stealing, and destroying more fiercely today, to keep their ill-gotten materialism regardless of what the majority of Earth's populations witness as these Europeans continue to engage in what is horrifically wrong on a massive scale. Autochthonous Aboriginal Indigenous independence from the colonizer descendants is our focus, to re-establish ourselves and regain our homelands which the colonizers left their homelands to displace us from ours, and then stole from us, after massive and countless massacres, like in Palestine. It is our responsibility to realize that the so-called United States colonies, the European immigrant foreigners call their states, and their forms of government, is the colonial occupier of the Americas, like Israel, is a foreign colonial occupier of indigenous Palestinian peoples. Also, all of the generations of European transactions between themselves, involving land grabs, sales of autochthonous peoples, all their European settlements they call their cities, counties, states, towns. Also, their so-called democracy elections, and all other institutions, treaties, constitutions, and contracts, etc., are fruit of the poisonous tree. Therefore, all invalid. We must develop effective ways and means to regain what was taken from us. With that said, serious and noteworthy suggestions are encouraged from those who are striving for the same goals. Keep in mind that civil rights might sound good, because it's supposed to guarantee equal social opportunities and equal protection regardless of race, religion, or rather personal characteristics. In fact, this is not our law. Before 1866, of the European calendar, there was no mention of civil rights by the colonizers in their colonial constitution. This concept is controlled under the foreign European colonial law to rule the indigenous people on our land. We had no such issues before the Europeans came, which we all know and continue to experience ever since they invaded and massacred our people countless number of times. So don't let civil rights or flowery words like democracy fool you into keeping the foreign European colonial system of rule and control over you. Indigenous people know not to kill, steal, or destroy on our own land. We never needed the European for morality when they have shown time and time again that they lack ethics and morality greatly. Unlike human rights or natural rights, in which people inherently are bestowed through the creator of everything seen and unseen and by nature, such as life, liberty, free from being enslaved, bought, sold, and tortured, free to form our own opinions, expressions, to learn our own cultures, etc., that entail values and capabilities thought to enhance and protect human interests, and are universal in character. However, civil rights must be given and guaranteed by the same power of the foreign European colonial state operators as a result of their foreign constitution, statute, regulation, judicial precedent, or other type of European law that invaded, massacred the indigenous people, displaced us and stole our land. Question: would you rather continue to be bound by foreign rule, controlled, dictated to on what to think, or not? What to learn, or not? To pay taxes to foreign Europeans occupying your lands and determining your values and culture for you? Or do you want to be self-determined in your own cultures like we were before the Europeans invaded, and be free to just be autochthonous Aboriginal Indigenous peoples? Let's work it out. Let's make it happen for the Golden Age. Your Koki.
I love you, Mother Earth.